This is what your embedded UI looks like by default. And this is what it could look like. Same chip, same screen, same LVGL version. The difference isn't the hardware. It's what I call the stylization gap. And almost every LVGL project lives on the wrong side of it. 11 things EEZ Studio does to close that gap. We're not building this pendant from scratch on camera, full source on GitHub, link in the description. This video is the tour, what each of those 11 features actually buys you on a real Maker project. By the end, you'll know what an HMI tool gets you on a Maker project, and you'll stop hand coding LVGL the day you find this one. Let's open settings. That's where every EEZ Studio project actually begins. Every EEZ Studio project starts here. LVGL version, include path, display resolution, 1024 by 600, the exact panel this pendant runs on. The interesting half is the destination folder and the file templates. Point the output at a UI subfolder of your project. The reason that matters is that EEZ Studio regenerates that folder from scratch every time you build. Sandbox the output and you can wipe it, regenerate it, and never lose any of your work. And every generated C and H file is template editable. Your includes, your headers, your namespace wrappers. Set once, fire forever, no fighting the generator. Themes are the first place you spend real design effort. Not styles, not screens, themes. A theme is a named palette. Accent, background, foreground, success, warning, danger. The pendant has two. Dark for the shop at night, light for noon. When the theme flips, every widget in the UI flips with it. No code change, no per widget edit. The worst thing you can do in an LVGL product is hard code colors. Hex literals scattered across 30 source files is how a UI becomes unmaintainable. Themes solve that on day one. Themes are the foundation, but the layer above them is where the look you actually see comes from, and that's styles. A style is a saved bundle. Padding, radius, font, gradient, shadow, every visual property in one named record. Every color in a style references a theme color, never a hex literal. The pendant has 150 styles. Every button on every page uses one of maybe a dozen of them. Change BTN accent fill once and every primary button in the project updates. I know what you're thinking. 150 styles sounds like overkill. It isn't. Styles don't multiply your effort, they consolidate it. The more styles you have, the less per widget work you ever do again. EEZ Studio ships with Montserrat. Use it for 10 minutes and every project starts looking the same. Bring in your own. The pendant uses Montserrat for body text and a monospace font for the position numbers, because numbers stacked in tight columns read as noise if they're not monospace. But the real unlock isn't the typeface, it's icons. Import Font Awesome as a font and every glyph in their library becomes a one-character label. No PNGs, no sprite sheets, scales infinitely, themes natively, costs almost nothing in Flash. When you do need a real image, a logo, a wiring diagram, a machine illustration, bitmaps handle it. EEZ Studio compiles them to LVGL C arrays on every build. Color format, transparency, dithering, all per image. Themes, styles, fonts, bitmaps. At this point, you have everything a desktop design tool would have. But here's where most embedded UI tools fall apart. Reuse. EEZ Studio has the cleanest answer I've seen. User widgets are reusable components. Think React components or Qt custom widgets, except they live entirely inside the EEZ Studio project and export to plain LVGL C. See the 3 identical cards on the dashboard, same user widget, dropped 3 times, the bottom dock that appears on every page, one widget, dropped onto several different screens, every settings nav button, same widget, different label. Change the widget once, every instance updates on every page, everywhere. This is the single feature that separates a UI you can maintain from a UI you'll rewrite in 6 months. Pages are your screens, 10 of them on the pendant, a home dashboard, a file browser, a settings panel, a setup flow, plus the various control screens for the machine. Everyone is laid out visually. The editor renders a pixel for pixel against your real display because it's running the same LVGL build under the hood. You move widgets, you save, you build. The layout you draw is the layout that ships. No measuring, no guessing coordinates in code. Variables are how your C code talks to the UI. Each variable has a name, a type, and a default. EEZ Studio generates a getter and a setter for every one. Bind a variable to a widget, label text, arc value, button check state, your C code sets the variable. The UI repaints itself on the next tick, no invalidate, no redraw, no manual LV_OBJ calls. Actions are the inverse, how the UI talks back to your C code. Declare an action in EEZ Studio, drop it on a button. EEZ Studio generates a stub function with the right signature. You'll fill it in. Every button on the pendant is wired this way. Emergency stop, movement buttons, file select, theme toggle. The pattern is the same everywhere. Visual side stays in EEZ Studio, logic side lives in C. And the worst thing you can do here is mix the two. Leave colors, fonts, and borders to EEZ Studio. Your C code only touches state, checked, disabled, hidden. The day you start writing LVOBG set style BG color from your C is the day your design language fragments. At this point, the project is complete, but none of it ships yet. And the last two steps are where the projects often break. The validator walks the whole project and flags anything that won't compile or won't render. Unbound variables, missing fonts, orphaned actions, dead style references. Run it every time before you export. A warning here is 1,000 times cheaper than a build error on the device. Press build. EEZ Studio dumps the whole UI as plain LVGL, screen, styles, images, fonts, the lot, right into your destination folder. From there, it's a normal CMake include in your ESP project, a normal lid deps in your platform IO, or a normal include in your Arduino sketch. The generated code has no runtime dependency on EEZ Studio. The tool is gone by the time your firmware boots. Everything that lands on the device is LVGL, the same LVGL the rest of the embedded world is already writing by hand. You're just writing less of it. Quick recap. The stylization gap, the distance between a UI that works and a UI that someone actually uses, closes through 11 things that EEZ Studio gives you. Configuration, themes, styles, fonts, bitmaps, user widgets, pages, variables, actions, validate, export. What you walk away with isn't just a nicer looking screen. It's an HMI, a human machine interface people actually want to touch. On a maker project, that's the difference between something that sits on the bench and something that ends up on your wall. The full pendant project is on GitHub, link in the description. GUI only, no controller backend, so take it as a finished UI to study or fork it in your own touchscreen project. Strip it, restyle it, make it yours. And the pendant was just an example. The same workflow ships in the screens we build for TrailCurrent, the open source platform we run this channel from. Same EEZ Studio, same themes, styles, widgets, actions, different products, exactly the same tool chain. And here's the thing that I haven't told you yet. Everything you just saw, every page, every theme, every style, every widget, the entire pendant UI was built in a single day. Not a team, not a week, one day with AI agents doing the wiring. I'm not going to tell you which agent today, that's for an upcoming video. The breakdown of the prompts, the project structure that made it work, and the parts where a human still needs to step in. If you're going to be building embedded UIs in 2026, that's the workflow you'll want to see first. Subscribe so the AI agent breakdown lands in your feed. Drop a like if EEZ Studio saved you a weekend. Pendant source in the Waveshare panel that it runs on, along with all the other projects that we build here at TrailCurrent, linked in the description below. Until next time, remember, it is your vehicle, your data, wilderness wired.